Hello everyone. Today I'm starting lab 4, but before I do this, I need to finish some of my remaining points on lab 3. So back to the display file. To explain further what the display parameters are, here we have, other than reverse image, we also have PC. PC, it is position cursor, and PR, it is protected. So protected means you cannot edit the field. In my lab file, it's already a given, so you can refer to my lab files. I'm just here to explain verbally and to record how I play around with these programs and code and stuff. Also, another important point on overlay. So remember that in the original file, let me just log in first. So the original record is called cell info, and after I enter whatever here, then we have the second record called result, right? And essentially this one, it is being put onto the first record. So that's why we need overlay here. So let us see, overlay is right here. So this is important. Otherwise, so that's also why when you look at the design panel, you can see that it shouldn't overlap with cell info. You must have enough space here. So this is the GUI design. Okay, we are done with the display file editing. So on to lab 4. Now we are talking about CL again. So for CL program, again from lab 1, we knew that it starts with PGM and ends with NPGM. And what happens is that when we try to look at the display, the library list right now, you don't have my course library. This is the course library here. What we have here, it means that you run the startup program and you do this kind of stuff. So essentially driver programs, they are just like your other device drivers. Essentially, it's just a collection of commands. Basically, you don't even need CL programs for quite a number of things. The whole point is that instead of having to go through 10 commands, 10, 20 commands, 30 commands, you can do everything in a CL program. And also for CL program, it also serves as displaying certain messages and doing certain things on ACS. Not RDi, but ACS. What I mean is, we have 5 commands here, and in fact we can just do it right here. So I just said we don't have the libraries, right? So I can just literally call this program, and for this line display system level, this is the system level. And after I enter, and this star program is gone, and now we can display the library list, just to see that we suddenly have 2 more libraries here. Seneca pays for some of my next labs, but at least we have this here. For most of my labs, we needed the course library, so that's why the startup program is for this purpose. This is instead of having to type this again. Well, it's not that difficult if you use it for enough times that you remember the command, but call startup is still shorter, right? You just need to type call startup to do these things. So this is the purpose of the startup driver program in C and in command language. Next, we have, let me see, we have lab 4. But before lab 4, I would like to talk about RDi. So here we have the end library list, right? I already have Seneca Pay and this and this. So you can also try to edit the library list here. Essentially, you can edit the initial library list. It's over in library list. Right click, properties for objects. This is what happens here. We have two libraries. This is the same as what I had just now in the CLLE program. So I have two libraries. You can also change where you should put the library. So I have it in the last. So this is right after Qtem. We have BCI and Seneca Pay, but it can also be first. It's just your choice. And the current library, we don't have to change this, but initial command, for my course purpose, we have call strjob. What this means is that, for instance, I talked about spooled files before, and for instance, for certain tasks, we can print the, let me see, we can print my name there. See, print at bottom of each spooled file page my name and my login name. So essentially, if you open the spooled files, maybe it's not gonna do it like this, but in the next few things we can have the my name there. It depends on what you want to do. Maybe I'm gonna try this again next time. For now, we are back to talk about lab 4. All right, we are to the main contents of lab 4. So here we have a new display file. What happens here is, let me see. When we call this lab 4, we can see something going on. The moment we call the okay, let me just talk about the records for now. So in record, we just have one record for now, and whole bunch of stuff. So what happens here is we have F21 for command line, and then we need a bunch of things. So I guess it's better to just run it. Let me see. It's called lab4. So what happens is I'm supposed to just input 1 to 5. Don't enter anything else. I'm not asking for even more locking down of because of some bugs. So number 1. So we have signed on user's message queue is queue user sys and my name, right? Okay. CL programs can report on and manage the users of the system. Number 2. Number 2 essentially is what you've seen before in lab 3, right? Okay, we are back to this display screen on lab 4. So number 3 is maximum invalid sign-ons allowed 8 tries. Okay. How about number 4? Previous sign-on for user was on 6th of April, and that's like just a while ago. It's just me doing the same stuff. Number 5. The system level is this. Okay, wow. Great. Our lab4 driver program can do so much. We can see the message queue and sign-on attempts and so on. So what's inside the code? Let's see. I didn't exactly write this, but it already tells you that you can display this and that. You have indicator 30, F21, and so on. Message text 1, message text 2, 70 characters. And in the driver program, this is the meat. So again, we start off with PGM, and then we declare. So we have the display file name. So again, remember in RPG, we had the same stuff. We declare the file name, right? We declare variables. They all start with percentage, previous sign, dates, time, message queue library. And for this kind of stuff, you need to check how long it is. And I don't have enough time now, but let's just say we already know the length. We already know, oh, the age is 13 characters and so on. And this is where things get really complicated. We need to know why we have sent receive file here. And then we have the, instead of subroutines, well, we still call it subroutines, but we say it in a different way. SUBR, okay? And to recall this, if you press 21, okay, we are back to that one, okay? So press F21, Shift F9. So we have a command line here. This is what happens. So if I press 1, okay, it's gonna call subroutine option 1. So this is what it is. Call subroutine. Otherwise, do something. Like we are gonna change something. So invalid. So you must enter 1 to 5. Okay. So in subroutine 1, I just set message queue, right? So we are gonna have a whole bunch of commands that if you don't know programming, you don't even know what's going on. But anyway, we do have something close to C++ or Java strings. Bcat or Tcat or Ccat, they are all concatenate. They are not exactly the same, but basically they are putting things together. Sign on user's message queue, and then it's put together with a message queue library here, this variable. It's gonna write it as a string. So this is what it is. Number 2, we call the real estate program. No problem of that. We already did this before. And maximum sign-on attempts. So we display this variable again. Number 4 is a very difficult one because it is a time date string. This one I don't have enough time to explain for now. It's too difficult, but it's basically is a time string. What is this? chgvar, it means change variable. So in CL program, instead of something like in C++ or Python or Java, you just use an equal sign. You don't use an equal sign here. You have to say change variable. And the last one is also an easy one. We just need to retrieve the object, retrieve object D for some reason. It's all very complicated stuff. But anyway, this is what we have here. And the subroutine initialize is just gonna clean up what we have. Essentially, if you want to clean up, the best way in my design is to use command line and then I press cancel and then the whole text is gone. So this is lab 4. If I still have time, I'll explain why this program is written like this. Thank you.